What is going on, everyone? Platinum Beast coming at you with yet another video. Today we're doing another episode of the Platinum Beast Answers series. I look forward to getting into the comments that you all left for me on last week's video. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, everyone, so let's dive right on into these comments down below on last week's video. Be sure to get your comment in the comment section on this video so that I will answer it in next week's video. If you can't tell, my voice is a little bit off. I have been feeling a little bit under the weather. I do apologize for not posting my regular daily videos as of late. I was on vacation, then I came down ill. Nothing serious, but just wasn't really feeling up to making videos recently, but I'm back at it and I'm glad to be back, so that is all good. I hope everyone had a great 4th of July. 4th of July is an awesome holiday that we get to spend with time with family and friends, and so I hope everyone had a happy and safe 4th of July. I also didn't want to make this video come out on the 4th of July because I didn't want to take away from the 4th of July, and I didn't have anything planned as far as video-wise for the 4th of July, so that's why you didn't see a video yesterday. But nonetheless, we're going to get into these comments down below. Again, make sure to get yours down below so that I will answer it in next week's video. And with all that being said, let's dive right on in. So, up first, we have Mr. Trident Stacking. Now, Trident Stacking says, Beast, I don't follow spot prices. I wait for folks to start talking about it, or I get alerts from the bullion dealers. That's just me, but I buy when I can afford it, and I don't sweat the spot price. By the way, I'm buying my first piece of platinum right now online. Thank you for all the great videos. Appreciate your shout to Guam Stacker. Yes, Guam is an awesome dude. Thank you for your kind words on my videos and things like that. That is super awesome, Trident, that you are getting your first piece of platinum. I look forward to seeing that in a future video on your channel. Everyone should also go check out Trident Stacking. He has a great channel, great content. He's a U.S. veteran, so shout out to him and go and show him some support. But thank you, Trident Stacking, for your comment. And you also mentioned that you don't follow spot prices, and that's not a bad way to stack, in my opinion, you know, because spot price moves constantly up, down. You never know where it's going to be, so it's always wise to just kind of accumulate over time. That's what stacking is all about. But great comment nonetheless, Trident. I really appreciate it, my friend. And I look forward to seeing more comments from you. So, up next, we have Mr. Mutant Ryef. Mr. Mutant Ryef says, when does PM prices shift from have a 1 cent minimum fluctuation to 10 cent to $1? Well, you know, I can't really say one way or another when precious metal prices will shift in large numbers or small numbers. It's kind of random, if you ask me. I've been doing this for a little while, and it's really just kind of random. When platinum blew up to $1,300 an ounce, it was kind of random. There are people in the industry that like to point to certain things that cause changes and whatnot, but it really just is kind of random, and no one can really predict it fully. And so I'm not really sure what causes the small changes and large changes, but it is kind of random, Mutant Ryef, so that's why it's wise, like I mentioned in Trident Stacking's comment, to just kind of accumulate over time and not worry so much about spot price. But that's just my opinion and my take on the matter. And some people may think differently, but that's just what I think. So thank you for your comment, Mutant Ryef. I really appreciate it, my friend. And I look forward to seeing more comments from you. Up next, we have Mr. Bronx718. NYC. Happy Sunday, everyone. Blesses to all. Yes, blesses to you as well, my friend. I really appreciate your comment. And I always appreciate seeing your kind words that you post. So thank you, Mr. Bronx. Up next, we have Mr. Aloha Stacker. Mr. Aloha Stacker says, thanks for the weekly Q&A segments. I also enjoy the market movement you did last week. Great new segment. If you decide to do that weekly, I would like that. No new questions this week, so have a wonderful week, and let's see if I score any deals on platinum. Okay, yeah, so I've really been considering doing like the weekly kind of market recap kind of thing, market movement and whatnot. I have been enjoying, you know, making those videos. I might make it a weekly segment of mine to kind of just go over the spot prices and the changes we've seen over the week and kind of give my opinions and thoughts on the matter and whatnot. You know, I don't like to make predictions because most predictions end up wrong. It really doesn't matter who's making the predictions. They almost always end up wrong. Sometimes people are right, but it's really just kind of random. But I do like to take a look and kind of reflect on what happened during the week. So I might make that an actual annual weekly video kind of series. So if you see this video and you'd like to see that, leave a comment down below. I'll probably make a community post talking a little bit more about that in the future. But thank you for your comment, Aloha Stacker. I really appreciate it, my friend. And you are a great person in our community, and everyone should go check out your channel because you have some of the coolest content on planet Earth. You have some of the coolest coins and other various things in your stack, and your stack is pretty amazing. And you always have something new to show us. You are the history buff when it comes to coins, and you also are the collector buff. You have some of the most unique pieces anyone on YouTube has, and everyone should go check out your channel to see some great, great content. But thank you, Aloha Stacker. I really appreciate it. Up next, we have Mr. Amarafi. Mr. Amarafi says, I bought my first platinum coin last week in American Eagle, and I was charged California tax. Is there a way for me to make my next platinum coin purchase tax exempt? So in California, from what I understand, you have to make a purchase of $1,500 or more to be tax exempt. Now, I assume your Platinum Eagle was around $1,200 to maybe maximum $1,300 at the most. And what I would suggest is saving up a little bit more and making it to where you add some silver, maybe a small piece of gold, small piece of platinum to the purchase so that your purchase goes over $1,500 and you can avoid the taxes. I'm not as familiar with California specific codes and things like that. I do not believe that they charge platinum tax regardless. I do simply think it's just a flat tax on anything under $1,500. So do a little bit more research, perhaps, you know, maybe do some trial and error, add some things to your cart that add up to $1,500 in platinum and see if the taxes are still attached to the invoice that is sent to you. So that would be my suggestion to you, my friend. California, unfortunately, does charge taxes on anything below $1,500. It's ridiculous, but I mean, it's California. It is what it is. Stackers got to do what a stacker's got to do. But I appreciate your comment, Amarafi. I really do, my friend, and I hope to see more comments from you in the future. So thank you for your comment. Up next, we have Mr. Sly Bree. Mr. Sly Bree says, and this is a long one, I enjoy listening to your videos during my evening walks. Thanks for the time and effort you put into them. A few weeks ago, you took a lot of heat on your video about too much speculative news driven around interest in silver. I agree with you, and I think the markets flush out success with both price retracements, and time. I also agree that platinum doesn't have anywhere near the speculative excess or artificial news driven demand, but I don't think platinum will rally while silver pulls back. Despite all of the attention on silver, the price action of both metals are highly correlated. I don't see that changing, and I think they will continue to trade in the same direction, both up and down. What are your thoughts? Do you think the correction will break one trades up without the other? So here's what I know from the past year. In 2020, if you bought platinum, you ended up profiting the most, right? So it did the best. Now, all the metals went up, so you did good or well. My southern grammar, good. You did well if you bought any precious metals early in 2020, right? Because they all went up. Platinum made you the most money. Florida Stacker did a great video on this, talking about his most profitable purchase of 2020 was a Platinum Eagle. He bought a Platinum Eagle, and he made the most money percentage-wise on the increase of the value of platinum. Now, do I think platinum can go up and silver doesn't? Yes, I do, and I know that's happened in history. If you take a look at platinum's all-time high, it was at an all-time high, but not at the same time necessarily as silver and gold at their all-time highs. They have been at different times at their all-time highs. In fact, gold hit its all-time high just this past year, right? And silver has yet to do that, and platinum has yet to do that. So I do think the metals do they do correlate. Don't get me wrong. I do agree with you on that matter. When you see them all go down, they all go down a lot of times. When you see them all go up, they all go up a lot of times. But sometimes, platinum will move differently than gold and silver. And I think that's something important to note, right? I personally am believing more in platinum as far as if I were to buy a tube of coins, silver, gold, or platinum, and let's say, like forget that they all cost different prices right now. What would I make the most money on? I'm feeling very strongly on platinum. I'm not saying silver won't go up, and I'm not saying gold won't go up, but I'm feeling the most strong about platinum. Obviously, I'm the platinum beast, so many people will say I'm biased, and that may very well be, but that's just my thoughts and opinions on the matter. But I really appreciate your comments, Library. I really do, my friend. Thank you for just writing out a well-thought comment and also for the very kind words in regards to my controversial video that I released fairly recently. I got a lot of flack on that video. I got twice as many likes as I did dislikes, so that's something. But I did get a lot of dislikes. In fact, it might be my most disliked video. But nonetheless, I put out my thoughts and my feelings and my opinions on things because I just enjoy doing it. And if people don't like it, that's totally okay. I try not to put out stuff that I know people won't like. However, I'm not going to, skirt around what I really believe and stuff, So it is what it is at the end of the day, but I really appreciate your comments, Library. I really do, my friend. And I hope to see more comments from you in the future. So thank you, and hope to see you around. Up next, we have Mr. Jack. Mr. Jack says, have a question about wealth preservation. I hear the phrase a lot with metals, but I'm not sure I fully understand it. Does any asset which rises as much or more than inflation protect wealth? The stock market and real estate also protect wealth in the long term, right? That is correct. You are correct there. The biggest difference I see is U.S. company stock values are generally always measured in dollars. If the dollar collapsed, you'd have stock shares, but the stock values are measured in dollars, and you could sell them for dollars. Stock values are thus tied very closely to the dollar, and you can't really separate the two. Not sure how a currency reset would work. With that trying to convert stock values to a non-dollar system, metals, I think currency reset would be more straightforward because we can easily see how metals are valued in any world currency or crypto. Can you explain wealth preservation for metals specifically versus other assets? Whew. Okay, so I'm going to go into stocks. I don't really get into cryptocurrency. I think it's just an extremely speculative play. I think it's almost like a casino bet. People might win. People might end up being millionaires, right? That very well could be, but they also could be broke, right? And I don't think people will go broke stacking, metals. But I do think people could go broke stacking crypto. I think metals will always have value. Even if they never go up in value, they'll always have value, right? That's just what I think. And I think that about silver too. But also gold and platinum. As well as palladium and the other precious metals. But as far as stocks, interesting points you make, with the currency reset and, the dollar value and stuff. Here's what I think. I think that with inflation, the prices of stocks and things like that go up as well, right? That would be an interesting thing to take a look at, the price of a company that's been around forever, right? So Walmart, for instance. Walmart is a very old company. It would be interesting to see what their company's stock shares were worth per share way back in the day, if they were even public back then. Again, I'm not sure when they went public. However, it would be interesting to see because, if it was 1945 and you could buy shares of Walmart for $2 a share, then theoretically and realistically, although the company has grown over the years and become a larger company, so it obviously has increased in value, I think inflation might also be a part of the reason why each share is now, $40? Or I'm not even sure what Walmart is. I don't have any investment in Walmart. But whatever their share price is right now, if it was 1945, I don't think it would be the same price, if you're getting my drift, right? So I think the price of stocks go up with inflation as well. Now, stocks are a riskier bet because you're banking on a company to be successful, right? It's kind of like crypto, but I think way more secure, way more secure because companies have skin in the game. Crypto is just speculative. That's all it is. The creator of Bitcoin, he might have skin in the game as far as wanting his coin to be successful. I don't know. I don't know if he's sold. I don't know how that all works, but I do know that companies and the stock market, they want to thrive because they need to, right? They have to make money and be successful for themselves, not just for other people. So when you're banking on a company, you're banking on them to be successful. So with precious metals, you're just banking on the idea that there's a finite amount of this stuff and it's hard to get, and it's really like a whole different ballgame. That's why a lot of people don't like to talk about metals as investment. But nonetheless, as far as if the currency got devalued so much, I think we would see the price of stocks go up, right? Because I just think if you take a look at the price of a share, like let's say Apple, right? Apple's at about $130 a share right now. What we're looking at is $2021 for one share of Apple. Now, that's not $130.1945 for one share of Apple. That's $130.2021. Would it be different if the year was different and inflation hadn't moved quite as much? Will it be different in the future when inflation is much higher? I think inflation moves at a slow and steady pace, but I do think there are things that can cause hyperinflation and things like that. If there was an extreme inflation overnight, I don't know exactly what would happen, to be honest. I really am unsure. You might see the stock market go down just because people are selling off their assets to take their money out because their money's now worth less. And so like if I had 10 shares of Apple, that's worth $1,300. And now $1,300 is what I need for groceries. And I only kept $100 in my wallet for groceries because I thought it'd be $100, but overnight it's now $1,300 for groceries. You might, or your bills or what, just insert anything you need in life. You might see a huge sell-off of stocks. And that would cause a almost crash probably in the stock market. But it would probably go back up over time, and when it did hit its float level, I'll say, it would probably be much higher than its previous float level because the dollar is now valued less. So that's what I think as far as stock values. I hope that answered your question. Your question was great. It just is a very well thought out and very thorough question. But what you said about real estate, I think it holds true. It's very much like precious metals. It goes up in value over time. There's only so much real estate. There's only so much land on planet Earth. And once it's all bought up, you are just at the mercy of whoever is selling. And the more people that are born and are living on Earth, the more valuable that land is. Same with metals, though. The more people that are born, the more stackers that are born, right? Now, stackers is a small community, but more stackers are born every day, you could say. And because of that, but metal is not made more every day. It's mined more every day, but the Earth only has so much. And the Earth only has so much real estate. So they're very similar. Now, they can be different at times, right? Real estate can go down, precious metals can go up. There's various factors that can influence those two things. But I hope I answered your question, Jack. Let me know if I didn't or I missed something in the comment section on this video, and I'll try to figure out how I can answer it a little bit better for you. But I appreciate your comments nonetheless, Mr. Jack. You always post great comments, and you've been a loyal follower of my channel and contributor to these video series. So thank you, my friend. I really appreciate that. And with that being said, let's see who's up next. So we have Mr. Michael Maldonado Jr. I love doing all the renames. What's kept you in your precious metals when some of your holdings have increased by a significant percentage? So when I buy precious metals, I'm buying it for the long haul. If I see something else go up drastically, I'll still hold the metals, right? Because I didn't buy them to make a lot of money, right? If you go into it to make a lot of money, which I think a lot of people are doing nowadays, you're going to be sadly disappointed, right? At least that's what I think. And so they're two completely separate investments, right? When I see my stocks go way up, I'm like, yeah, that's great. Do I tell myself I should have just bought all the stocks at the time? Sure, I do say that. But because when I bought them at the time, I didn't know where anything was going to go or what was going to happen, I'm okay with the outcome, right? You have to accept the outcome of your decisions that you made previously, right? You can't sit there and just tell yourself, about the opportunity you might have missed, or get upset with your prior decisions because you made those decisions with one thing in mind or something in mind. And I bought precious metals for the long haul. If I could have made more money buying the stocks instead of the precious metals, that's okay, because at the end of the day, it's just wealth preservation, and I'm just doing my thing, you know? I'm totally okay with whatever the outcome is. And that's really what investing in anything should be, right? Anything you put your money into, you should be satisfied with whatever the results are, right? If you put your money into a nice house, a fancy boat, those are sinking investments. But if it makes you happy, hey, that's great. And you shouldn't really live life with regrets. Everyone has regrets of some sort, but it's best to just try and avoid, thinking too much about what could have been, and just focus more on realizing why you do the things you do, or did the things you did, and things like that. But yeah, that's a great comment, my friend. I really appreciate it. All the renames. Yeah, okay. So at first I didn't understand what you meant by the hashtag renames, but yeah, like when you put the answers beast, the article beast, the platinum beast, the silver beast, the gold beast. That is funny. I love seeing those comments. Every time you post one of those, it's hilarious. I do love seeing those. It's pretty funny. So keep doing that because every time it pops up on my notifications, I'm like, well, he's not wrong. But I appreciate your comment, Michael. I really do, my friend. And I look forward to seeing more comments from you. Up next, we have Mr. Jack once again said, would you agree or disagree with this statement? I'd highly encourage people to get the equivalent of Dave Ramsey's Baby Step 4 out of non-mortgage debt emergency fund in place before purchasing any quantities of metals and coins of dollar value significant to that person. Personally, it saddens me when people are forced to sell their coins and metals due to unexpected expenses, debt obligations, etc. My entire metals collection is less than 2% of my net worth, so I'm never forced to sell and can be patient and wait for good buying opportunities. Would highly recommend this approach. It's okay if it takes a long time to save up for platinum or gold. No need to rush and end up in a situation of regret later, right? You are correct in that, my friend. You are very, very much correct. I agree. If you don't have money for metals, then you don't have money for metals. Don't try to make money for metals by taking from other important parts of your life. Get out of debt, take care of your family, take care of yourself, and just do the metals as an afterthought, a savings account, if you will. What is a savings account? Many people talk about savings account. Florida Stacker, I love Florida Stacker. He made a video talking about be your own bank. That's basically what precious metals really in the end of the day should sort of be, is a savings account. Now, what do you do with a savings account? You put money that you don't need right now into a savings account. Why? Because you want it for later, right? You want to save for a vacation. You want to save for a home. You want to save for all different kinds of things. But you put it in a savings account because it's extra money that you don't need to spend right now, and all your bills are covered, and you now have it in a savings account. If you're putting money that you need for bills in a savings account, you're probably just going to pull it right back out to pay the bills. So precious metals should really be the same kind of mindset and aspect, is they should be your extra funds that you have. And if you don't have any extra funds right now, well, that's okay. That's why I made videos talking about don't buy into the hype. Because at the end of the day, this stuff is long-term stacking. Or stacking really should be a long-term game. It's a savings account. It's be your own bank. It's all these different ideas and philosophies attached to one another. Because if you miss out on $1,100 platinum and you have to buy it $1,200, that's okay. That's okay because you got your life in order and you got everything else covered as far as debt and whatnot. You did bring up Dave Ramsey, and I love Dave Ramsey. He's a great guy. He's helped tons of people get out of debt, and he's a smart financial guy. He doesn't like precious metals, and that's okay. Lots of people don't. But as far as getting out of debt, he's a great resource to use, and he has tons of information that he's put out there. So I really appreciate your comment, Jack. I really do, my friend. Great comment, great questions and ideas and things like that. Great overall input. And great overall input from everyone. I really appreciate everyone who commented today. Be sure to, again, get your comments in the comment section down below so that I will answer them on next week's video. And with all that being said, guys, until next time, we will see you.